Oh, didn't even hear you click in. It's just setting up my superpowers action figures to play a little arcade games. But as long as I got you here, I'll tell you, last night I did a debate with the guy over at RetroBlasting. You know that YouTube channel, right? I'm sure you do. It's a lot bigger than I am, so if you know about this channel, I'm sure you know about that channel. Anyway, a couple months ago, well, about a month ago, I did a video about how I don't support fake weapons and fake figures, repo as they're called. I'll just call them forgeries. And he was on the other side of it where he felt it was okay. Now, personally, I don't. He says he doesn't buy them or collect them himself, which I can understand. But he said he sees no problem with it. So we debated a little bit over Twitter, sometimes in the YouTube comments, I think a little bit. And last night he reached out to me to come on his channel and really talk my side of it versus his side of it. And I think it was very civil. At first I thought, well, maybe this is going to be some kind of ambush attack or he's going to throw out a bunch of stuff and call me a bunch of names. But he's a really decent guy, and I shouldn't have thought that. He always seemed like a really decent guy, and he turned out to be a really decent guy. How many times am I going to say decent guy? Anyway, I wish I turned the camera on during the interview for debate. I didn't know, my first time I ever used Skype, or like the third time I ever used Skype, and I didn't know my camera wasn't on. And I guess he thought I didn't want my camera on. Had it all set up too. I had all my little figures here, had a good background, had the lights going. I was going to look really good for his viewers. And they was like, man, look at that guy. I got to follow the Junkman. I didn't even have my camera on. I was showing him stuff too, holding up to the camera. Look at this. Look what I got. Anyway, what am I talking about? Anyway, we did a debate about forgeries and fakes and stuff like that, and kind of his views, his thoughts on it, my thoughts on it. And it was very civil, which you don't find on YouTube and online much. Is, you know, it's usually, hey, let's argue, let's dog this guy out, or let's make this guy look bad. That way I can get views. That's the way a lot of YouTube channels do it, and I'm glad we didn't go that route. That we both had an honest discussion back and forth. We disagreed on stuff, but overall, I think we're real friendly about it, and that's really good. Now, I want to say a little update here because I found this out after I did the video with him. I don't know all the details, but Smith Lords, the guy who did the video on that's creating the fake Snaggletooth and Yagface, I heard he's putting his name or his company's logo on the action figures itself, like maybe on the back of the leg. And that's all I really was asking when I did the video, is that if people's going to make fake stuff, make it where you can really tell. If Smith Lord is putting his logo or name on the back of the figure, and not just so small you have to use a magnifying glass to see it, but where you can just commonly see it with a common picture taken of the back of the figure. I'm not saying it has to be a picture of the back of the leg, just a normal figure turned around back, and you can see it right here. If it says Smith Lord, I have no problem with the guy. I have no problem at all. That's good. That's all that I was asking, to make something besides just taking off a small copyright date that you can't hardly see anyway. Something to make it a little different. Bend the arm a little different. Make the figure a little bit different. But if Smith Lord has put his name on the back of these figures, I have no beef with him anymore. And I hope my video and some of you out there maybe made him see, hey, maybe I should do something a little different. And maybe it was that someone sold one of his fake yak faces on eBay as real. So that probably changed his mind and made him see, hey, let me do a little something also. So Smith Lord, if you're watching this, I want to thank you for doing something a little different, helping us out, us that don't want the retro fakes in our community. Not that we don't want it in our community, that we don't want to deal with it while we're trying to collect stuff, and we don't want people to get ripped off. That's the bottom line of all this. We don't want people to get ripped off. So anyway, I did a debate with RetroBlasting. I'm going to put a little clip here so you can see it. You won't see me because stupid me didn't have my camera on. But here's a clip.
And I don't know if it's by coincidence or by design, but at the same time that the retro collection has come out, they've released a vintage carded, hyper-articulated Stormtrooper Han Solo from Hasbro, which to me, I don't know how you feel about that, but it seems like it misses the mark a little bit. It's like, if you're releasing Tarkin, why are you bothering to not release a retro-styled Han Stormtrooper if you're already going to release a Han Stormtrooper? Anyway, I'm kind of getting off to the left.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get one.
Really?
If they do a series 2 of these retro figures, I wouldn't be surprised. I think maybe testing the water with Tarkin, I guess.
Right.
It's interesting too. They tested by putting it in that game where they didn't think people would buy it on their own.
Right. Yeah, and I've got the game sitting here. I'm waiting to do a video about these because my subscribers have been asking me what I think, and I want to give a learned opinion, so I need to have some of them around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I've been looking at him. I mean, what do you think of the likeness? I kind of think he's somewhat halfway between vintage Kenner and Funko Reaction.
Yeah, he's better than the Reaction, I
Mhm.
think, where they went a little too cheap with it,
Mm-hmm.
and they were trying to make him a little too cheap.
Right.
The body looks really good, but it looks like they
Right.
might have took the mold off maybe the Commander.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Right.
can't think of his name now. The one
Yeah.
that wears the black. It
Yeah.
looks almost identical to that mold, and then
Except
a
with
different head.
the new hairpiece.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like you just put a different head on it.
Right. Well, let's talk about this repro issue, because it's been going on in the collector world for at least 20 years now. I know
Oh, I
that much.
remember it in the '90s at toy shows. I mean, I got ripped off at buying some parts to a snow speeder, and man, that video would be so much better if I was in it. Lesson learned. Next time I use Skype, I'll turn the camera on instead of just showing stuff to my camera and you not be able to see it. Anyway, check out RetroBlasting. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can go to his channel and watch my debate with him. And again, I want to thank him for having me on. Again, it could have been one of those attack YouTube channels where they're trying to get drama to get attention, but I think we were both pretty civil. We actually agreed probably on a lot more than I thought we would, and had a really good time talking with him, man. From reading the comments over at his site, it seems like a lot of people that watch my channel watch his channel, and hopefully we can do something a little bit more light. Maybe just a fun topic, maybe just talk about an action figure line or something like that. I think that would be really fun. I think you guys would like that. And so check out RetroBlasting. Again, I want to give him a big thanks for having me on the show, asking me to come in. I said this during his show, I'll say it again. He was one of the first YouTubers or collector sites that really reached out to me or followed me on Twitter and kind of interacted with me when I was starting my channel. And there's a lot of people out there, not just in Star Wars or toy community. If you don't have a lot of YouTube subscribers or a lot of Twitter subscribers, they kind of like, they won't talk to you. I hate that. It's like that. I see that a lot. And I see people, I know people that don't answer their emails, people that don't answer their direct messages on Twitter. I know people that have 600 followers on Twitter, and I say, hey, and don't hear anything back. It bugs me. It's a pet peeve I have, sorry. I just don't understand this day and age why you can't reply back to people. You know, my mom taught me if somebody talks to you, you talk back. Now, so I try to read all my Twitter feed, definitely read all my email. Now, I know these bigger YouTubes get a lot more emails and people talking to them on Twitter and Facebook than I do, so it's a lot harder for them to answer. But I don't know. I'm rambling here about something off topic. It just really bugs me. And it's not just the online community. I know friends and families that don't answer email. I know some that don't answer text. How do you not answer a text? I can understand if I was calling people on the phone. Just don't understand. Anyway, check out RetroBlasting. I think you really like his channel. If you like this one, if you don't know him already, he does a lot of action figure stuff. I think you really dig it. He has a lot of figures on hand, so when he talks about stuff, he can actually show it to you. When I talk about stuff, sometimes I have to show pictures from our website and have to worry about if my video is going to get taken down because somebody's being a Brad. Anyway, check out RetroBlasting in the link description below, and I'll probably be back later today with a better video. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.